What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Don't Forget About Me, the Supernova version, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's talk about my 5 biggest takeaways from today's Town Hall, April 10th, 2025, and this was an exciting one. Now, here's the thing. There wasn't too much new information. A lot of it was just covering what was posted a couple of days ago with the Conclave Arcana announcement. And so you'll see here that like a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about is just the new information or expanded details that they provided that we may have missed. But if you really want to get the gist of it, just go either check out my video or you can go to the post itself and see exactly what Conclave Arcana is all about. The stuff that I'm going to be covering here is not really going to be covering everything that they talked about, like I said, because that is mainly just the post, but really just picking and choosing the couple of items that stood out to me or were not covered in the post and are part of something else. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We finally know what these black foil potions are going to be called. They're going to be called midnight potions, and they are going to increase your chances of getting black foil cards, which is the new kind of premium, right? We already have gold foil, but now there are black foil as well. Now, here's the thing. We don't have many more details outside of the fact that it was confirmed they will be made through land. And here's the important thing. The team wants to actually get this out before the May 13th release of Conclave Arcana. And the reason for that is because when people are able to open their packs, they're going to want these potions. And so we need to get those basically in production beforehand. So I'll probably do a separate video kind of like looking at the timeline of release dates and maintenance windows between now and May 13th. But as of now, that is the game plan for them to get this out beforehand so that there will be some potions out there. Now, this is going to be the first use case for research, and the way that it's going to work is not per potion, which is what I was hoping it would be, but more so a permit. So if you have, from a lore perspective, the way they were describing it is like, all right, if you've done your research and you know how to, get X, Y, and Z from the land, and you're not going to blow up your region in Praetoria, then you can go ahead, spend your research tokens to get these permits, and the permits will essentially allow you to create a new work site, which will, I believe, allow you to get Aura, or it's going to be called an Aura Lab, but it'll allow you to get Aura. You combine that with some of the other resources to make these midnight potions. Now, the thing is, permits will be a tradable asset, as will the midnight potions, right? This will be the first time potions will be tradable. The other potions will not, because those are sold from the team and they're really just a DEC burn sink. So at this point, this is actually really cool. I mean, obviously, I was hoping that it would be per potion, but if they keep on offering things like this, where it's just like, all right, now I can use my research, spend it, get access to creating these things that people will want, and we'll talk about revival potions at the end, but, creating these things that people want, that's going to be really fun and exciting. And as I was talking about in a recent land video, where I was talking about grain specifically, now if we're going to have to be changing up work sites, people are going to have to go and see what is actually worthwhile for them to do. Are they going to turn off grain? Are they going to turn off one of the other natural resources? Are they going to turn off SPS or research in order to create these or to switch over to these other work sites? It's going to make land that much more exciting, and I am here for it. And the fact that we're going to get this hopefully in less than a month, right? I'm recording this on the day of the town hall, right? So April 10th. So hopefully less than a month, because I'm sure they're going to want at least a week or two of people being able to produce these potions before before Chaos Legion rotates out, but before Conclave Arcana comes into the mix is really exciting. So fun stuff ahead for land. That is the new alpha on what is going on for these midnight potions and black foil cards. Now, the interesting part here is number 2, they went into more detail about this, and I wasn't really, I guess I hadn't really dug deep into it when we were covering it in the video, just kind of going over the entire post, but how the Arcane foil cards are going to work. So there was a little bit of clarity here, and again, just kind of thinking back, I was probably a little confused. I might have said something that was confusing because I was confused, but essentially anything black foil, right, whether it's Arcane or not, anything black foil is going to be maxed copy, right? There will not be any combining of those cards. But now the Arcane foil cards are going to be something different. There will be gold foil as well as black foil. And for black foil Arcane, like for legendary cards, there's going to be a 1 of 1. Right. And I think for commons, it's going to be like 20 of them. And so all of these cards, black foil and gold foil arcane, they are going to be placed in a pool. And there will be a chance of getting one of these cards that's going to be completely separate than any other chances, right? When you open up a pack, for example, right, there's a 2% chance that it could be gold foil, and there's like a whatever, based on the type of pack it is, there is a chance that it could be black foil, right? Just regular black foil. But this arcane thing is completely different. It is going to be the amount of cards in the pool that are left and available, right, which starts off the same, divided by the amount of packs available. And so what makes this really interesting, and I'm going to get more into this in point number 4, but what makes this really interesting is that as we go along, the chances of actually pulling one of these arcane foil cards, whether gold or black, will actually increase over time, right? Because the denominator is going to be decreasing. As more and more packs get open, your chances go up because the numerator will decrease, right? Because if something gets pulled, then that goes down. But as more and more packs get opened without one of these cards getting pulled, then that increases over time. So I just wanted to clarify the difference between black foil arcane, and gold foil arcane, right? So that was an important distinction, because when we were going through it, like a lot of it was just like, whoa, cool, there's a new foil, black foil. Oh, cool, there's also arcane black foil and arcane gold foil. But that is how the arcane foil cards are going to work, as opposed to your gold foil, which is normal, and then of course the new black foil, which is just going to be a percentage that can be increased or doubled with the midnight potions, similar to how your regular gold foil can be increased with an alchemy potion. There's a lot there. All right, I know. Okay, so let's go into number 3. There was a mention of conflicts, and it does look like they are going to start maybe a month or 2 later than after the set comes out, which is similar to what happened with Rebellion. I'm sure they're going to want to wait to have things settle down a little bit, and conflicts are set to start in June or July. So what we know now, or at least what was confirmed, is that it will utilize land resources to upgrade and repair wagons. And it sounds like Matt is getting some pushback here on wagons, and just the idea of either having to upgrade them from the Rebellion wagons or having to repair them in an ongoing fashion. There was also another comment that said, hey, if I am participating, but let's say I don't get a card, right? Because if you're familiar with conflicts, you stake your packs, you stake your cards on there, that increases your chances, but that doesn't necessarily, like, unless you hit a certain threshold, you're not guaranteed to get a card. So it's like, if I don't get a card, can it be something where, like, I don't have to repair my wagons because I didn't get any benefit for it? To which Matt said that actually kind of makes sense. Either that, or there'll be like a reduced cost to repair your wagons over time. I think a lot of the stuff is still TBD for them, which, again, they're going to have to make a decision soon, so hopefully we will get information on all that. But keep in mind, that's not going to start for another couple of months or so, whether it's in June or July. And right now, I would say what's really in the mix for them, or really top of mind for them, is probably all the midnight potion stuff for land and land-related things, and of course anything else that needs to come out for Conclave Arcana, the set release itself. But conflicts, how land will be integrated, all that stuff will probably come in the next 2 to 3 months, which, again, super exciting because here we are with yet another utility for land resources, which, again, is very excited and why I'm super pumped about land. Okay, we're actually ripping through these. So let's go into number 4 now, because this is actually really interesting for me. How pack value is going to be preserved through these new foils, specifically the gold and black foil arcane foils, right? So as I was listening to Matt, I actually listened to it a second time before jumping in. It kind of dawned on me, because I was already having this thought about making a video focusing on Rebellion packs and how Rebellion, and I still might make this video, so if you see it, then you'll know. But how Rebellion packs were an interesting investment. And I'm putting quotes on that for a reason, because this is not financial advice. I'm not talking about this from a financial perspective, but just purely looking at, if you bought Rebellion packs, they were $4 when you bought them, right? Or 4,000 DEC, which at max was $4. Maybe you even got some kind of discount for whatever. But you got them for $4. Right now they're trading on Hive Engine for like $4.25, $4.50. So they've actually gone up in value in the last 18 months. Again, just slightly. But in the meantime, you've gotten potentially pre-sale benefits. You've gotten all the airdrop potential benefits, right? If you were staking them to your wagons. And so it's an interesting thought process of like, okay, well, these packs have actually held their value. They did they improved on what Chaos Legion had failed, right? We just had too many packs. There wasn't a reason to hold them. There wasn't a reason to keep them. Now we're getting this whole new foil system, right? Black foils as well as the Arcane foils. And Arcane foils is where I really want to focus because, as I was saying earlier, with how the Arcane foil cards work, as you go through and as, let's say, like, let's put it this way. If you wait until all of the legendary summoners are out, for example, and you wait until it's actually out of print, Conclave Arcana, which we know it's not going to go beyond March of next year. So if you wait that entire time, there will still be a pool of black foil arcane cards and gold foil arcane cards available, at which point your cards, or your packs, I should say, will have a higher chance of pulling one of those cards, right? Whether it's a standard pack, whether it's an alchemy pack or alchemist pack, or whether it is a legendary pack. And each of those have like a tiered system, right? It's all proportional, but it's like, for example, there's like 6 chances of pulling a one of the arcane foils with a legendary pack because the cost is 6 times the amount, right? 24,000 DEC versus 4,000 DEC. So as I think about this, and I'm just like, man, in looking at how well Rebellion did, now they've actually improved upon it, right? Especially if you go for something like a legendary pack. And that's another video that I kind of want to make. So I'm teasing some future videos that I might make where it's like, if you were to buy like a legendary pack and you were to wait until all of the legendary summoners are out, all the conflicts are done and airdrops are handed out and available in packs, like the cards that you could get from that, not just from the guaranteed legendary, but also the fact that you have an increased chance of getting these black foil arcane, gold foil arcane cards at a later point. It's like yet another iteration and yet another innovative step towards preserving pack value in the long run. And so when I look at, for all of us who were here with the Chaos Legion class, obviously that was a disaster. But I think you can look at it objectively now and say, okay, over the past 18 months, they did a good job with Rebellion, right? If you went in heavy on Rebellion and you were holding your packs the entire time, you got all the benefits, and you're sitting here now and packs are worth more today than they were when you first bought them. I mean, that's a win, right? And again, I'm not talking about this from an investment perspective, but I know a lot of people look at the value of cards in the ecosystem and use that to define whether or not the project is being successful. Well, okay, Rebellion did that. And now looking at the fact that they're going to do Conclave Arcana in a very similar way, yet add more reasons for people to be holding packs at the end because it increases the chances of getting some of the rarest or scarcest cards in the game. I don't know. To me, that makes it really exciting. Again, I'm planning to buy some packs. I may just buy and hold them, for the long run and see what happens. But to me, it's kind of exciting to see how they've expanded upon what was successful about Rebellion and really make this something that collectors and chasers want to go for, right? And will value. So as we move forward, it'll actually be really difficult to get a true estimated pack value because the thing is, you could always you could always get these 1 of 1 or 1 of 20 or 1 of 10 cards that's available, and your chances increase over time as there are less and less packs available in the ecosystem, right? As we burn more packs, or maybe they go to the DAO or whatever the case is. So I don't know. To me, that's an interesting mechanic. I definitely overlooked it when first going through the post, but and having it kind of clarified by Matt and going through the town hall, that's something that's making me think very much about how many packs I might want to grab during this presale. So that is number 4. Number 5, to just close things out, survival mode. And shout out to B Jangles who asked this question at the end. Like, we've had survival mode out now for almost 3 seasons, and we haven't really gotten any feedback from the team on, just where things are at, right? We haven't gotten any insights from them. And according to Matt, and I believe him, they've really just been heads down focusing on Conclave Arcana and trying to get that out. They have data, they're gathering data, they will continue to gather data over time, but one of the big things is match liquidity, right? And you can easily see that when you go into Peak Monsters, for example. There's clearly not as many matches there as there are in Modern and Wild formats. So Revival Potions are still very much on the table, and the fact that we know how Midnight Potions are going to be created, Matt even referenced that and said they might do something similar with how they design Revival Potions, where it'll be something, where maybe you'll need a permit. Once you have the permit, you can go and create them and yada, 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 and it'll be all that kinds of fun. So that'll add even more variety and dynamics to land, which should make it fun because people who participate in survival mode will want these things. And at the end of the day, this is what I love about land. Land is scarce, right? I mean, yes, there's still 80% of land that hasn't been turned on, but as we go through and people need to make decisions, right, we are going to see the free market come out and show where is this need, where is the arbitrage, where is the demand coming in. Do people want midnight potions more? Do they want revival potions more, right? Do they is grain the best option, right? Or is iron the best option? So I'm really, really pumped about where things are headed. Like I said, this town hall, there wasn't really that new, there weren't really that many new things that were put out there, just some clarifications. But the next month or two, next 3 months, this next summer of Splinterlands, I think is going to be really exciting from a game perspective as the meta completely shifts with chaos rotating out of modern format, with survival mode essentially becoming a bigger part of the ecosystem, with land doing its thing, and Cryptomancer working really hard on getting all that stuff. So shout out to the team. I think this is actually a really fun time for Splinterlands. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Very curious to see what you guys are thinking, what you thought of the town hall, and how you're feeling about Splinterlands as a whole moving forward. But I think as we head into summer, as we round the corner into Conclave Arcana and the summer of Splinterlands, it's going to be an exciting time. So that's all I have for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.